Hey guys, it's Allie. So today's Friday, possibly Saturday, probably Saturday, assuming that it didn't upload in 3 hours, because it's late. I was busy this week, so sorry. It's not on time. It's never on time. I'm a slacker. So today is story week, and that means that we, the girls on the channel, are going to be telling you a story, which is fantastic. I'm great at stories. So I made a Tumblr post asking my followers which story they wanted me to tell, and it was unanimous that they wanted me to tell the fantastic story of how Richard Speight Jr. of Supernatural hit me in the head with a microphone. Yeah, that happened. So I was at the Vancouver Supernatural Convention, hosted in the Sheridan Mall Centre in 2013. So I had a bunch of issues signing in on Thursday when I arrived, so if you want to talk to me about that, just like ask me on Tumblr or something. But this story doesn't actually start until after the first day of the convention. So Friday night is when this is taking place. So all the autographs and everything were done Friday night at about 8:30 or so, and the karaoke party wasn't going to start until 10. Now the karaoke party is free for everyone to attend, whether you have a ticket to the convention or not. You can be a random hobo on the street and you can just walk right on in and have karaoke with the actors, which is really cool. So at 8:30, my phone was pretty much dead, so I had to go upstairs to the 27th floor and charge my phone while getting ready, and I still had to eat, and all this stuff was going on. Now, I'd been to a convention before. I went in 2012 to the VanCon convention, and my karaoke experience was good, but I didn't know how things were working, and so I ended up getting there late. I had to leave early. I was in the back. It was good, but I wanted it to be better this year. So I rushed to clean up my makeup to charge my phone, which can't really rush, but I think I skipped eating because I was just so excited for it. And by now it was like 9:45, which seems like it took me a really long time to do everything, but I don't know what was taking me so long. The time left somehow. The time just went out the window. So 9:45, and I am like, I gotta get there early so that I can get to near the front, and that's all I could think about. So I went on the elevator, and then outside of the ballroom, the entire thing, it was just full. There are tons of people there. I was like, great, I'm not gonna get near the front, this is gonna be terrible. And so, I was like, maybe if I'm Canadian, maybe if I just sneak through, say excuse me and stuff, people will just let me through. So I did, that's what I did. I was, pretended someone near the front of the door was like waiting for me, and I was like, oh, excuse me, just walking around them and stuff. And everyone was super accommodating and nice, and they just like moved out of the way for me. Like I was Beyonce or something. I don't know why they did. I wouldn't personally. I would be the douchebag who'd be like, no, you can wait to get with your friend. Like, I would have been so rude about it, which probably says something about me. Anyway, so I got to the front of the door, and at that point there were just a couple minutes left in order to actually get into the karaoke party, so I think I took like a short video or something showing the crowd before we went in, and then they opened the door. Now, this was a crazy moment. I was like behind 3 people, and the doors opened, and everyone just like rushed in because everybody wanted to get to the table where they could submit the entries to sing karaoke. Now, I for one know I'm not a good singer. I can't sing. I have sung in past videos. It's not very good. It's okay for like someone, but I don't want to be in front of 600 people singing with like actors that I idolize. That's not something I find enjoyable. So instead of going to the booth to sign up to sing karaoke, I booked it straight for the stage. I was like, I don't care about that. I just want to get in front of the stage so that I can be right near the actors the entire time, because then you don't need to sing with them, you're singing with them the whole time. So I just like booked it there. So when I got there, I was actually around 2 girls that I had met previously in the vendor's room. One girl I like to call Louisiana, because I don't remember her name, but she was from Louisiana, and all I remember about her is her accent. And the other girl, I like to call her California, because she's just like really Californian. And anyway, so this was just great because I already knew them. Now they're my karaoke buddies. I went to the convention alone, so I didn't have anyone to hang out with, so I was like, kind of know these girls, this will be fun. So Louisiana was right next to me in front, and California was right in front of me, in front of the stage. So I was only one row behind people in front of the stage, which is awesome. I was right there, like I could touch people if I wanted to. I didn't do that because that would be creepy. So I think my phone was charged about 50%, so while I was waiting, I took it out and I started videotaping the crowd again because that's a normal thing to do. Document everything, because that's what my generation does. So in order to begin the karaoke experience, a group of 6 to 8 girls, I don't remember how many, they came on stage and they started playing the music and everything, and everyone was getting really riled up. And then we see them. Matt and Richard come out. Matt is dressed in his little cheerleading outfit with the skirt, and Richard is dressed in Jensen Ackles' gym teacher outfit, which everyone, you know, is super fond of. And so everybody's getting really riled up, or what we think is riled up, and Matt is just not impressed with our level of enthusiasm. So he somehow Don't Stop Believing comes on, and it's like the first song that everybody knows the words to, everybody knows the tune, everybody's really excited about, and we just start singing. It's really enthusiastic. So about halfway through the song, Richard and Matt are over by me, down left of stage, and like Richard and Matt are really playing to the crowd and stuff. Richard's got his microphone. Richard is just trying to keep everybody really excited and stuff. So he's like, has a microphone here and he gives it to the audience to sing and pulls it back so he can sing, gives it to the audience to sing, pulls it back so he can sing. And meanwhile, I have been filming this entire experience. I have the entire thing on tape and I'm videotaping and I'm like, oh, what's Rob Benedict doing? So I pan away from Richard for the exact wrong moment. So on the third time that Richard goes, I'll sing and you sing and I'll sing and you'll sing and I'll sing and you'll sing, he kind of looks away and he went a little too hard and the microphone popped off and hit me in the head. Now I had no idea what was going on because I was busy looking at Rob Benedict doing air guitar over at center stage. So I was just like, oh, what's going on? And the girls in front of me are laughing like crazy. I look over, I like pan the camera over, and I see them, and that like Matt is bent over Richard laughing, and Richard is freaking out, and he's like covering his face and stuff, and the girls in front of me are still laughing. They're like down trying to pick up something. And so I see they hand Richard back a microphone, and I'm like, oh, well that must have dropped. That's awkward. The next thing I know, Richard Speight Jr. is looking at me. I couldn't tell because he's got his sunglasses on. So he like leans over, he's like, are you okay? And like he asks me 3 times if I'm okay, and I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like I didn't even know it hit me, honestly, because I was just like, it's just 100% awesome shooting my way. Like I was like, Richard Speight Jr. is talking to me right now. He is singling me out. That's cool. That's awesome. My friend Nicole is gonna love this. My friend Nicole has a huge crush on Richard Speight Jr. So, you know, he gets the microphone and screws it back on. He's embarrassed and stuff, but he walks it off, goes to the other side of the room. I think everything is over. What I don't realize is that at the end of the song, Richard Speight Jr. still remembers this whole incident. And so what he does is he goes over to the other side of the stage, back near me, and he announces to everyone that this is his last karaoke night ever. Now at this point I am like devastated. I'm like, no, karaoke is the best thing that happens at this convention. No, you cannot. No. No. I was upset. And the next thing he says, he points to me, Louisiana, and California, and he says, I'm being sued by these 3 girls. Now, I am Canadian. I don't know about Louisiana and California, but I'm not going to sue him for talking to me. I call this a good day. So he retells the story of what happened on stage. And anyway, the whole thing was super awkward and hilarious, and he apologized once again. And then, of course, I thought this was the end of it once more. Oh no, that's not the end of it though. A couple songs go by and I've completely forgotten about this incident. I mean, like, it just didn't even register to me that it happened anymore. So Jim Michaels, the co-executive producer for Supernatural since season 4, I think, comes out on stage to do his song, and he's holding a piece of paper. What I don't realize is this is a written up lawsuit that he has made for me to sue Richard Speight Jr. So at this point, I am just like, what is even going on anymore? And so Matt and Richard decide that I should go on stage to dramatically rip up the lawsuit and accept their apology. Now, if you remember back to the beginning of this video, I said I didn't want to sing a karaoke song because I don't feel comfortable with other people having to listen to my voice. In a video, you can skip it. In real life, you can't. So I was a bit reluctant to go on stage, but Louisiana and California were super insistent that I should. So they like helped me on stage and everything. I get up there and Richard apologizes or something. I don't remember. This is all a blur at this point. Like, I had no idea what was going on. It was just crazy. And long story short, I ended up ripping up the agreement really dramatically, as I do. And then they told me I was singing a song. Now, I didn't know what song I was going to be singing. All I knew was I was singing it with Jim Michaels. And I am petrified at this point, because half the songs we had sung so far, I didn't know the words to. I didn't know what songs they were. Now, I have to say, this is probably the only time I have ever been glad to grow up in northern Alberta, Canada, because the song that Jim Michaels chose for us to sing was Sweet Home Alabama, and I only knew of the song because I lived here. So the music starts playing and I'm like, thank God. So, you know, I get through the song and everything. I had it on video, and then some random girl was like, I'll record you, and then I just handed some random person my like $300 phone, and it was all fine. I got it back and everything, and I have the video and it's uploaded. It's so awkward. And while I was doing this karaoke with Jim Michaels, Richard and Matt were upstairs doing photo ops, so I wasn't on stage with them, which kind of sucked, but at the same time I was still on stage with Emily Perkins, Chad Lindbergh, Rob Benedict, Jim Michaels of course, and one other person. I don't remember who. And honestly, the most nerve-wracking part was singing next to Emily Perkins, because I've been a fan of hers since the Ginger Snap series in the year 2000, when I was just 5 years old. So I've been a fan of hers the longest, actually, so I was really starstruck there. So it was the next day, and since I missed the dressed-up photo ops for Richard and Matt, I actually did have a photo op for the duo, and so I did it the next day when they were in normal clothing. They came up, and I don't remember how it happened, but they knew that I was the girl they hit in the face the previous day, and so in my picture, Richard decided that he wanted to point at my forehead. Later in the lineup for the autographs, when I was getting Richard's autograph, again it came up that he hit me in the face with a microphone. So on my actual autograph, he wrote, "Sorry for hitting you in the face with a mic." Later, when I was in a line to get Rachel Miner's autograph, Richard actually sent another girl to find me to ask to see the video of him hitting me in the face with a microphone. And so I had to leave the lineup, go see Richard, and then show him the video, and he like laughed his butt off again. And then, you know, the rest of the weekend happened. So I think all in all, over the weekend, he ended up apologizing to me 6 times for sure. My mom is convinced that he's going to remember me next year, but I personally don't think he will, because out of everything that happened at the conventions, that isn't the most memorable one. But it doesn't really matter because I'm going to remember it, so that's good enough for me. So that's my story of getting hit in the face with a microphone from Richard Spade Jr. from Supernatural. If you want to check out any of the other videos on the channel of the other girls' stories, that'd be super cool. If you want to like, comment, or subscribe, I would really appreciate that. And if you want to send me an ask on Tumblr or something, asking about any other story from the Supernatural conventions or the Edmonton Expo that I went to, then you can just shoot me an ask down on Tumblr. I will make sure to answer it. Probably way too many words, and maybe I'll include pictures if it gets too long. Okay, so have a good weekend, and I wish you the best.